When I'm by myself and I want a quick, easy but delicious supper, I make myself spaghetti, which I douse with this lovely garlic-infused olive oil. It's just heaven, very easy. And what I like to do as well is crumble over some dried chili red peppers. Not so red anymore because I bought these years ago at duty free at Venice Airport. Oh, and I do like a little solitary pleasure. These beautiful marron glacé, they're candied chestnuts. Look at this treasure trove, all these gold foil wrapped nuggets. They are so delicious, but a real extravagance. When I want to indulge myself, I don't go for some pampering spa treatment. I make these my special chocolate pots. Obviously, you start with chocolate. Indeed, you end with chocolate, and it's chocolate all the way through. Not bad. It does need to melt the chocolate, and I find it's easiest often to use chips. I want 3/4 of a cup of semi-sweet chocolate. Any dark chocolate with over 60% solids will do if that's the way you want to look at life. And on top of those clattering chips, I'm putting just over a stick of good unsalted butter. It has to be soft though. Now, while this pan full of simmering water melts the butter and chocolate in the bowl, I shall get on with greasing my ramekins. And I do this always the way my granny did, which is by keeping butter wrappers and using them to grease cake tins or pots like this. Now, this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, who wouldn't want this? Look at this ravishing pool of chocolate. It's quite mesmeric. But I'm going to put it aside to cool, and then I can get on with making the chocolate pots. When I first made these for my children, about 3 years ago, I didn't know what to call them. And my son, with the unerring logic of a 6-year-old as he was then, said, ChocoPots. Got chocolate, you eat them hot, and you put them in pots. So, of course, I went with it. On top of these 2 eggs, I need 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm using dark chocolate, so there's not an awful lot of sugar there. Whisker. And now some flour, not very much, 3 tablespoons. I don't want this cake-like, it has to be melting. That can just mix in now. Now we have a lovely golden ointment. Fold the melted, cooled butter and chocolate into the eggs and sugar and flour. Now I just need to fill my 4 waiting ramekins. These are just under a cup capacity. And don't panic, I'm not going to eat all 4 myself. I'm making 3 for the children later. Yum. Those 3 can be stashed away for later. This one can be put beautifully on its own on the tray to go into the oven, 400 Fahrenheit. It'll need about 20 minutes, and you'll tell when it's cooked because the top will be quite cracked, a bit like a macaroon, but underneath it will be so invitingly gooey. This is cooled down a bit now, but it's warm. But I know I have pleasure ahead, so I'm willing to bear the pain now and dive right in. Ah, can you see, like when you crack that rather wonderful carapace, you've got all this goo underneath. Oh.